Hello everyone, this is Annabella. I am so thankful for all the support I received thus far. Since I am super close to reaching 1000 subscribers, I would like to do an update on the first couple that I have read on my channel, Wang and Shen Yue. The me back then was very inexperienced and I feel like this couple deserves another reading since it has been half a year already. Wow, I can't believe it has been that long. Anyways, I don't really remember exactly everything I say previously about their relationship. I think in general, I used to be very positive and not logical enough. So let's do a full relationship reading for them again to see. Remember, this is a tarot reading only. Be logical at all times. So first we have the King of Wands. Wang is a fire sign. Because this is the first card and it has a direct correlation to Dylan, there is not much to explain here. But with the King of Wands, I believe attraction and passion does exist between Dylan and Shen Yue. At least coming from Dylan. He wants to protect her and he cares about her. But this King of Wands also indicates the energy of motivation and determination. Though this is a relationship reading, I do feel like that determination might have to do with their career too. The Hierophant. There are many different definitions to this card, but to me, its main definition is tradition. Though marriage is a tradition, we can't say this card represents a marriage if there are no major love cards that go along with it, like the Lovers and the Four of Wands. Also, for the obvious reason that they never once say they are in a relationship, the Hierophant can also represent knowledge sharing. I would think that they learn a lot from each other, but I feel like what this card is trying to say is the fact that their relationship is stagnating. The Hierophant is super traditional and he doesn't like changes. Five of Pentacles. This card indicates that there has been a negative change in circumstance. You know how when you've been refused so many times already, you will eventually kind of give up at the end. This card gave me that feeling. When I see these cards, I feel like their relationship hasn't changed much for such a long time. It has become stale, and one or both people feel like they have been left out in the cold for so long, they're slowly freezing on the inside. In a way, they still support and assist each other, but I don't know. We can only understand for sure when we see their individual cards. Wheel of Fortune. I do believe the reason why they met was due to faith, and they met to learn a lesson from each other. But you know, this card does represent change. A decisive moment is here. Plus my feeling for the Hierophant and the fact that Five of Pentacles also represents a change. I am really wondering how they are feeling about each other now. Depending on their feelings, this change can be a good change or a bad change. Judgment. I really think the decisive moment is here. Because again, another major arcana that represents something is happening and it's time to make decisions. This shift could be quick or slow, but I suppose it's time for both of them to understand their feelings and what is important for them. They have to face it and make it clear, or else their relationship will continue to stagnate. And we will never know if this ship will ever sail. I don't ship them, but I know that many of you do. I am wondering on behalf of everyone who loves them. Now, I'm going to pull cards to see how Dylan feels towards this relationship. What are his feelings towards his connection with Shen Yue? Hopefully it can guide us to the direction of this renewal they are facing. And we have the King of Wands here once again. I would say he's the one with a lot of passion and he truly wants to protect this relationship. He is attracted to her in many ways. With this card, I believe it also indicates his need to think through what he really wants to get out of this relationship. He needs to decide if he would be able to drop everything and go for it or continue to sit on the sidelines waiting for it to work out on its own. Knight of Swords. I think he is at the point where he is getting really impatient. Like, he really wants to have a connection with her and he might be looking for any opportunities he can get to work things out or progress the situation, but I think it's not as easy. Also, because this is the Knight of Swords, it is related to his thoughts. I mentioned in the King of Wands that he should drop everything and work things out, but I think he's kind of stuck in his thoughts and hasn't been able to do it. I think mainly because his career is on the line. Ten of Cups. Honestly, though the general energy now makes the future seems unsure, I do think he has a lot of feelings towards her. At least when he's with her, he feels the sense of completion and happiness and fulfillment. Basically, anything nice. Honestly, this is my favorite card. It's super nice and overall represents a wonderful connection. But I do want to mention though, just because this card is here, it doesn't automatically mean everything is positive. It really depends on the situation and on the individual. The Tower. Now this card is aligning with all the cards from the mutual connection, like the Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. All of this strong energy is pointing to the fact that there is a change in perspective from Dylan. What I believe is going on is that he no longer actively puts any more effort into this relationship. Again, probably because he is super busy with work and he doesn't have time to love or date. I believe his career is still important to him right now and he can't risk it. Four of Swords. This card at the end kind of makes sense with everything I have said so far with all the previous cards. This card represents resting and taking time for yourself. With his relationship with Shen Yue, Dylan is choosing to leave it as is for now. I even think that they're not talking much to each other right now, obviously because they have to focus on their career. So yeah, that's Dylan's energy. Let's check on Shen Yue's feelings next. What are her feelings towards this connection with Dylan? The Fool. I believe this card came out for Shen Yue last time too in my first reading for them 6 months ago. Honestly, because it is here again, it makes me wonder if it's more than what I thought it meant before. I was pretty inexperienced then, and I believe I say something along the lines of she's scared of commitment, but she thinks that Dylan is a fun adventure. Well, with this card in this reading, I have a feeling she's also on her own adventure, and I don't think Dylan is on this adventure with her. Six of Swords. Also, the Six of Swords again. I honestly think her energy didn't really change much from 6 months ago in regard to this relationship, but in this reading, I believe this card represents her moving away from him. The Six of Swords represents escaping to somewhere more peaceful. She is escaping him because really, in their career situation right now, being separated from each other is going to be the more peaceful choice. Four of Pentacles. This is definitely her feeling of wanting to protect herself and her career. She is being very reserved and conservative. Maybe she feels very insecure and wants to avoid anything risky that could harm all the things that she has worked hard for. Basically, she wants things to remain the way it is right now. She wants to maintain her control of the situation, whether it is her career or her relationship with others. 10 of Cups. But yeah, honestly, they both really fulfill each other in the emotional aspect. I kind of feel bad for them in a way. I feel like because of their status, they have to sacrifice many things. Obviously, they like each other, but it's hard to say if they can develop this relationship further because of the situation and their own mental blockage. With this card though, she feels really happy to have him in her life. Five of Cups. This card represents sadness, giving up, isolation. Shen Yue has always been running away, even from the previous reading. I think she focuses on her negative emotions too much. Whether there is any romantic relationship between Dylan and Shen Yue or not, there is a sadness coming from her. She can get quite worried and stressed out. But honestly, someone should help her see the two standing cups in this card. Things aren't always super bad if you can remain positive. In conclusion, their feelings for each other are there, but at this moment, those feelings are not strong enough to overcome their status as actors. Well, that's the end of this reading. Please be logical when watching any tarot readings. Tarot is based on energy, and as the interpreter of these energies, I'm not going to always be right, but that doesn't stop me from trying my best. I can only hope that my viewers can keep that in mind, be open and logical, and keep yourself grounded with the information. If you're interested in buying a reading from me, please check out my description for my contact information. I accept payment and donations via PayPal. For pricing, please see my channel's description. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please help me reach 1K. Have a nice day and see you next time.